only thing I'll say
I'm
is,
pumping
like,
you live so you can do a pre-show, but I'm gonna step away, so don't get into it. You know what I mean?
Maybe Tuesday or
All right,
just
you
talk
guys are
about
live.
the weekend that we run the arena. There's other stuff.
Steve, can you turn down that?
Sorry.
Sunny, man. Hammering.
That was powerful.
Right?
I thought that was, you know, I don't know if he was really losing the battle. You know?
Was for a
no, that's one of those things that's just up for discussion. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you just have to kind of take it wherever Slasher's head is, kind of thing. Slasher's never in his head going to lose a battle. And from one personally hated person in the community to another, I understand where he's coming from, and he's just trying to get the best piece of content.
He was as hated as Slasher, though. That's
comparison. Their community's much larger than ours. I'm pretty hated.
Either way.
Yeah, I mean,
either or.
Slasher is a big troll, man. Like, whether
he's the best. He's the best.
Whether he's doing it intentionally or not, I know he wants good journalism, like you said earlier, but he gets under a lot of people's skin.
Well, that
because it's good.
Yeah, it's the tough questions. What do you mean? Yeah. He's asking the questions
I'm not disagreeing with that.
People want to hear. I like Rod a lot.
Man.
I've seen him at work, and even with his show, Fuck Slasher, I like what he's doing. He had my full. But I think he got a little raped today. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think we can all agree to disagree that anyone across anything can never say we're unprofessional. That's all I got.
Yeah.
All I'm saying, every other word was fuck. So if I have one of these little fucking 12-year-olds send me a message saying, "Oh, you're unprofessional," I'm just gonna send him a picture of a middle finger. I think that's what I learned from that show, which is way more prestige than us. But that's neither here nor there.
8,000 viewers.
8,000 viewers on a consistent basis.
8,000 is more than Halo got all year long last year, I'm sure. I really do believe that. I think so. But hey.
Yeah, I just don't understand the hate that you guys get. I mean, I don't swear that much. I did in my recent video.
Very bad potty mouth.
Yeah. I was like,
you
crap.
attack other communities. That's very unwarranted. You don't like Dmaq because he's tacky, because you have a Bass Pro hat on, and that's just a common trait. And I don't even have a third, but you know where I'm going with this. I wish Drake was here so we could go live.
I can't believe both of you guys said you wouldn't come to my house because my house smells like Pakistani food.
Wait, who said that?
Both of you.
He pulled that out of his ass is what he did. Oh, Dmaq, you're
fuck you guys.
I'm rocking my Bass Pro hat. I'm itching for some fishing season, man. Maybe I got a couple
slaying hog.
Like a month left. After Columbus, I think me, my dad, and my uncle were going down to South Carolina. We usually go on a fishing trip like probably every year or every other year. It depends on if they get off work.
5.5
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I forget what the lake's called, but it is. It's a pretty big one. They do a lot. What?
I got nothing in South Carolina.
Yeah, I don't know. They watch a lot of the fishing shows, so.
That's good.
It's a tournament league.
Nothing like Bill Dance Outdoor Adventures.
Oh yeah, nothing like a Bill Dance pond loaded with 7-pound bags.
Dude, he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this new lure."
Yeah,
cast it out there. He's like, "It shouldn't work, but He like reels it in. He's like, "Oh, look at this. Oh, this is probably about 8 pounds. It's whatever." Fuck you, Bill Dance.
I went eel fishing once. So, what is this? 2 weeks in a row, we start off the show talking about fishing.
It's how Nick and I connect. Well, the show isn't even started. This is the pre-show. We can talk.
I know, but the pre-show is all about fucking fishing.
Well, D, I am trying to tell you to get a little more cultured and start fishing.
I'm not into that shit. But no, I'm sorry. I should, because I did go eel catching once, and it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. For real. I don't know. He like put like a.
We'll be going live
at 10. It was like
again,
cage.
2 minutes. So
You know,
we're waiting for Dre to get Nexy to get back.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
it was like a cage, and we would like put the cage in the water. I was really young. I went with these white people. You know,
Why they gotta be white?
Well, I'm just saying they don't gotta be white. I'm saying they were white. You know, okay.
Why were they white?
Well, Alan Giglia and Kristen Giglia, their parents, you know, went to the shore house. They took me out, and we did that. We put the eel shit over, and it was cool. Like, it electrocuted and shit. I forgot how exactly it went, but it was fun.
Yeah, well, what can you do? That's good. I'm glad. I'll take you fishing one day, D. We'll get nice and drunk on the boat.
Hey, we were supposed to go fishing last
I know what we were supposed to do.
That would be fun. I'm down to go.
We can all just... I got a pond that's pretty loaded. You know, it's like a 14-acre pond. It's right up the street.
You think we could do like a special edition of the Halo Council while we're fishing?
If
I can
production
connect,
crew.
No, if I could connect to someone's Wi-Fi, like if I got a number from the pond and I could connect to their Wi-Fi, we could stream it from my phone.
Yeah, we could let's do that. Let's do a fishing one.
11 a.m. 11 a.m. comes around. 11 a.m. comes around. Dmac's throwing up over the boat. Nick's passed out.
I'm eating beef jerky.
Eating beef jerky.
You guys ready?
Oh yeah, man.
I'm ready.
All right,
I don't even know what we're talking. What are we speaking of?
I'm gonna mute you guys so you guys won't be able to hear me.
Okay, yeah. Well. Welcome to the 9th episode of the Halo Council. I'm Gandhi, joined with Dmaq and BESTMAN.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
He can count. But before we get into everything, we directed everyone over to the Live on 3 stream. We normally start at 9:30. I just want to give a round of applause for Sundance D. Giovanni. He put up with the biggest troll in the face of this earth and Slasher, and I commend you for that. That was intense.
No, not the biggest troll who is Slasher, but the biggest trolls who are known as the Reddit internet community. And Slasher kind of falls into that. Look, Sundance put up with a lot of shit for that $20, and I think it was unwarranted. A game where they buy it once for $60, they don't pay monthly like we pay for Xbox Live. I just don't see how the StarCraft 2 people could complain that much. But either way.
You know, that's not our community to say, but I know we used to pay back in the day for pay-per-views kind of thing. So I'm pretty sure everyone threw up the money. I think that was, 2005, correct? Something like that? Everyone put up the money. 2004 as well. You could either watch it in 105 HP or you could watch it in, 480 or something like that. But nonetheless, you know.
You know, Scotty, just real quick, though, one thing I would like to say is StarCraft to me is more like a viewing sport, and so there needs to be some type of pay-per-view. That kind of starting to make a little more sense. You know, it looks more like a boxing or anything that you would MMA, that type of thing. StarCraft kind of fits in there for me, and it wouldn't not make sense to be a pay-per-view. I don't know why people are tripping.
What are your thoughts, Nikki?
I mean, it's not my place to say. I'm going to get put under a microscope.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Team Liquid forums, and, you know, Halo sucks, and we're a weak platform. But Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a risk, and Sundance has been known to take a lot of risks. So, you know, he even said it on the show tonight. If he'll be the first one to say that he fucked up if the show fails, and I'm sure they'll do a different approach, or not the show, but if the Winter Arena fails, and I'm sure he'll be the first one to, you know, he said that it will be changed in the long run if it's not successful. But I think it's a necessary step, and I think a lot of people would agree with that, and you know, a lot of people obviously disagree. You know, all the Redditors and the you know, people that expected everything handed to them on a silver platter. But I like it. I like Sundance backing up T2 and Slasher.
Yep.
Trolled about the Dr. Pepper bottles. Like, you know, that was just kind of uncalled for. But you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. They're professionals, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
What can you do? Hey.
This is what happens. Slasher.
Well, we'll cut it at this because we don't want a part of this. The last time this happened, D, you, me, and Nexy, we were like, all right, let's get some camaraderie going. And what happened was 97% of both populations attacked us. So I'm not in this. If you do this is on you. I'm good. I'm out.
We're talking about hate, and Slasher is my boy. I talk to Slasher all the time. But look, you can't hate on T-Squared for being on Dr. Pepper Bottle. He did mad work for the league. He did exactly what MLG asked him to do, and he was a great face at the time. Obviously, StarCraft is a bigger game, and hey, today maybe Idra would get the spot. But at the end of the day, bro, Big Daddy T was a big reason why the Halo community continued to its success and why Halo 3 was so prominent, and Halo Reach is still a part of the circuit. Now, I don't know why these guys on the StarCraft 2 side are you know, questioning Halo. We're here to stay. And Sonny, don't you worry. The crowd is going to be live. We are going to be loud as shit this year, and we are going to make Columbus the biggest Halo tournament of all time. If I'm not casting, I'm playing. That's how dedicated I am to this tournament. I'm not playing. Well, I'm not playing.
He will be. He may play. Yeah.
Yes.
That whole thing. All right. Well, now since that is done, by the way, if you're watching this, BESTMAN and I said nothing. It was all Dmaq. But on to more news that actually affects...
Still just better than you, son.
More on to news that actually is relevant to us. So today at, what time was it, D? 7 o'clock Eastern, correct? Dmaq and I were featured on the LAN Network show, and we announced that Dmaq and I will actually be flown out and be casting the 6-team LAN, actually, that is set in stone the weekend before our Columbus event, and that is huge. Now, we've also have released the 6 teams. We have Instinct. Now, the thing is we don't know if they're set in stone yet. This is our first invitation. Yeah, we don't know if they're necessarily coming out. The 2 teams set in stone is Heaven and Earth and Classic. We also send invites out to Ambush, Instinct, Status Quo, and Infamous.
No team name.
No team name? Okay, well, whatever. Nonetheless, so that is the big news, and that is, I mean, I'm actually extremely excited for this. It's really just showing that the new owner of the LAN Network is trying to make the LAN Network that much better. Right. Unfortunately, though, the online tournament will not dictate who gets the 6th spot for the first LAN. That'll happen at the next one.
And honestly, it couldn't happen this time because there just wasn't enough time, and we really did want the LAN Network to do a good job. And this doesn't mean Scotty and I are working directly with the LAN Network on everything that we do. However, we are working for the LAN Network at this LAN. And the LAN Network is very, very positive that they could put on a great show for Halo and other communities as well. But they're dedicated to reviving Halo. I think it's super awesome. We had a lot of positive conversations with Rick. I think everybody should be competing in all their online tournaments, everything that they're doing, because what are they doing? Just giving the community some money and somewhere to play. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see how you know, the production of the stream is going to be now with YouTube casting. That's something we didn't see the past 2 years of the LAN network, and I'm hoping they have the right. I don't really know how all that works. We touched on it last week a little bit, but I'm hoping we can see you guys not just casting one point of view, but able to switch across. That's going to be something that's going to bring in a lot of viewers and keep us interesting rather than just watching a live feed of people playing. So I'm kind of disappointed it wasn't one of the teams picked, but
I actually have big news for you.
Oh well, maybe one of the teams will back out or something. But
literally, but continue, Nick. I don't want to. You can finish.
Yeah, but I'll be pumped to get there. I have a LAN reach. I don't think at all with No Bloom, and I don't think a lot of people have, and that's a big question mark is how this game is going to play off on LAN with the No Bloom, No Sprint. So the LAN network's going to be huge. I'm sure there'll be other small LANs before the tournaments as well. I know Kobe's dad is setting up a LAN, so I'm pumped. I can't wait. Regardless if I'm going or not, I'll be tuning in.
Yep. Well, this is my text from Towie, Ryan Towie, the coach of Instinct. He says, "We aren't attending the LAN network. If you want to announce that, we have other plans." I said, "Where are you going? Tell me now or you die." He said, "Super top secret, bro. I'm not allowed to say yet. Haha, sorry, less than 3. So, D, I think it's only plausible that we invite...
Final boss.
Yeah, it's only plausible.
Wait, what did he say?
They have super top secret plans that they don't want to discuss.
Who?
The Instinct.
Oh, so they might not be showing up?
No, they aren't showing up. They've publicly announced it. So I am giving the invite directly to you.
Oh, well, I'll have to go over that. I mean...
You gotta go.
There's
no way around it. You're going.
What is going on in the chat? All right, anyways, I'm down to go. I'll say it right now. I'll go 100%. I'll go to cast. Fuck practicing. I'll go and cast with you guys, but there is some crazy shit going down in the chat right now. But
I haven't looked. But nonetheless, let's talk about,
slow mode that shit.
Let's just talk about, what we're going to see over the course of this weekend. So, assuming Final Boss comes and the other teams go, really the big story that Dmaq and I have already touched base on is that Assault from Team Infamous will be in the same house for the same weekend with Status Quo, his former team, who he retired on, and then all of a sudden came up on a new squad. So,
I'm proposing the Assault versus Flame Sword boxing match. I kind of want to see it go down.
Nick, do you think there will be beef? I don't think we've ever seen this happen.
Well, I talked to Cleet the other day when I got on and played pretty late, and I was like, so, what's up with you and SQ? I mean, are you guys on good terms? He's like, yeah. He's like, I have him on my friends list. That was kind of the end of that. So I don't really know, like, if there is a serious... I mean, that'd be good. That'd be good rivalry. I mean, SQ, obviously, with the pretty controversial pickup in Elamite, and, there's no team name forming around Assault coming back, and Assault was the one who designed the team. I don't know if a lot of people know that. He is the one that got all of them together. As you know, like, Rhino was teaming with Legit and Goofy, and Blaze was floating around, and Snipedown was floating around. So Blaze and Snipedown were both rejected by Status Quo. They were both in the running, and then Assault got them together, and they made the team. So it'll be pretty fun to see, what kind of trash talk comes out of them. But Status Quo isn't one to trash talk, not too much. They're not vocal.
Well, they got Elamite back. Or they have Elamite now.
Elamite's the type of player that gets under a lot of people's skin, and that'll be fun to see. I can't wait.
I mean, with Instinct out, I mean, pretty much that's pretty much the safe bid for everyone of who was going to win the whole LAN. But you throw Final Boss, Classic, Heaven and Earth, Status Quo, Infamous, and Dynasty or Ambush into the mix. That's a toss up pretty much between 5 teams, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. When it came down to the 2010 LAN network, I think it revolutionized how Halo 3 was played. The amount of skill of the teams that were brought there, minus a few times we had a couple of the 20-win teams that would just get shit on, including my team at one of the LANs. But everyone there was in the top 6 of the team. So it's going to be crazy to see, especially with No Bloom and online. has been a lot better than I don't know. It's weird to say when it comes to the hosting and no Bloom Online, but when at the land, fuck was I saying? I was modding Tyrant.
Either way.
It's the high level of competition, and I think it's gonna be a lot like Halo 3 was towards the end of the last season of Halo 3 at TLN.
And dude, I'm just excited that we get to put on a broadcast. I think that's going to be the funnest part about it. Like, Scotty, me and you get to chill for a whole weekend and just, like, go fucking nuts. We'll have all our boys there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be the week before the tournament that nobody anticipated. So a lot of surprises going on. There's going to be a lot of hype. And I expect to ride that energy and really help put on an amazing broadcast that weekend. So shout out to the LAN Network and shout out to everything they're doing. We really love you guys for helping us out this time, and we're gonna follow through for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, until we start getting teams finalized, I really don't want to go too in depth on who you think we're gonna win and whatnot. But basically, everyone, send out your tweets to LAN Network. Let them know. Thanks for keeping us alive. And also, I just got a message from, basically based off of the Live on 3 show. It actually pulled a couple of the Australians who compete in Halo, and they announced that there will be an ACL Sydney, so Australian Cyber League Sydney. So if anyone in here is from Australia, there will be Gears of War and Halo Reach being played there. So Halo Reach getting picked back up by them just because of no sprint, no bloom. So I condemn you on that. And also, EGL has announced that they will be doing 5 events this year as well with Halo Reach and Gears of War. So really, we're making a very prominent stand here. We're in Europe, Australia, and North America. So we can only have room to grow from here, which is awesome.
Over 20 Halo events all year long. That's more than one every single month. 20 major Halo events. That's an actual possibility. Amazing. When we started this Halo Council 9 episodes ago, I watched the first episode, and we were all in dismay. And we all didn't know what the fuck to do, and we were all pissed off, and we didn't think Halo was going to be around and try and unite the community. And look at the Halo community 9 episodes later. Right now, we're talking about casting at TLN.
Yeah.
And, people are online lobbying to cast at a Halo Reach event in Columbus at Major League Gaming. EGL, ESL, all this shit is going on, and I just fucking love it, because I didn't think it was going to happen, and it is.
Yeah, man, it's awesome in every way, shape, and form. One thing, though, that I must say is really, guys, I would really appreciate it, and I think Nexy deserves a big round of applause for his hard work he's put into this site. I was going to wait
for this, yes.
But really, I'm going to put a plug in before we go to a commercial every single time from every episode here on out, so just expect that. Basically, check out, it's halocouncil.com, post on the forums. All we ask is that you're cool. It's not a big deal.
Yeah. not a major requirement.
Except all, man. I love it.
Dre, do you have anything you want to say about that before we cut to a commercial break, my friend?
Yeah, everyone says that they want to have their own community, and everybody's willing to put in the work. Show it. Come on over to thehalocouncil.com, because we're building really cool tools for you. I mean, I got a full-time job, I got a girlfriend, and I'm still producing this show, even if I can't be on it and all that kind of stuff. So show me that you're as passionate as me, because that's what you guys have been saying. And thanks for watching, for sure.
God, doesn't that just make you feel so little? He's like, oh, I have a girlfriend, a full-time job, and I'm still putting together this forum.
Yeah.
No, man, stop hating on dude. Listen.
No. I am now self-conscious about myself. That's all. Thank you, Dre.
Either way. Yo, honestly, the site is fucking sick.
I've had it posted on a forum since 2005 or 2006 when I used to make fun of Fonzie for being a shovel face.
It's going to be the best forum since the iOS forums. I really, truly believe.
Get out of here with the iOS forum reference.
I'll
kill you right now. I will kill you.
Oh my god, dude. Do you remember the T-squared rap battles in the iOS forums? This is 2002, 2000. Oh, wow. This is good times.
All right. Well, We are going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we will be talking about the new teams that have formed, one of which involving BESTMAN. So stay tuned.
All the voices bold and busy is my type. On the banks of good and evil, raising arms like my tree. All the creatures, all the people, they want a piece of me. And you could be mistake. They forsaken me for if you don't forsake me. Well, you could call me Cal. You could be mistake. They forsaken me for if you don't forsake me. Well, you could call me Cal. Lussier, we're not ready. You got me away. Not on me, you for him. Use me easily.
Welcome back to the Halo Council. I'm Gandhi, joined with BESTMAN and Dmaq. And before we get started, if you like the music you're listening to, it's no other than Dre's brother, Max Pierson. It's something about the Piersons who just do everything for this community so far. Come up with awesome music. They put together the Halo Council site, and they host this show. So without them, we would have nothing. We wouldn't have anything to get groovy to, you know?
I land with his other brother on the weekends sometimes. So all Piersons are contributing to my life in some way.
That's just fantastic news.
Yeah,
shout out to your family. Your dad. Oh, sweet. Oh, well, that's actually really bothersome. But nonetheless, Nexy was talking to me during that, and I thought he could... nonetheless, back to stuff that's on topic here. So, there's been a couple team switches here that we just want to catch everyone up to date on. The first of which is Nated's new team. Now, Nated has left teaming with Legit for whatever reason. I don't really want to get into it. But he has now formed a new team, which features Nated, Campy, Tito, Matic, and Hoaxer. Team FFA, as I like to call them, but they will not be using that name because they're not allowed to. Your guys' first thoughts on this team?
Good for Nathan. A situation where he's actually comfortable and words aren't coming out of his mouth that he never said, and thoughts aren't coming out of his head that he never thought. You know what I'm saying? So Nathan finally in a position where he can think for himself and get a team surrounded around him. And you know what? I know he was empathetic to the fact that it didn't work out with Boss Nasty, but I truly, truly believe that it was the best thing for him, and I'm happy for him, and I think he'll do great.
My initial reaction to it is it kind of reminds me of Nated in the beginning of Halo 3. I don't know if a lot of people remember this, but he teamed with Wooly, Severance, and Tzoxic, and all these names back then meant nothing to anybody. They didn't go to any events, and if they did, they were completely unknown, and they were a pretty solid team online. Now, granted, two of them went on to have a pretty big, semi-successful career, and Tzoxic was pretty stellar last year. But Severance went on and placed top 8 for the rest of the year, and Tzoxic went on to win an event. So I wouldn't rule any of these players out. And as far as Nate's decision, that's the only thing that is kind of confusing. He left Boss Nasty and he joined up with Legit and Goofy, I believe. They scrimmed one night, lost a few games, and then Nate just left, or Legit said that there was a misunderstanding that he just wanted to run games and not be official. So I guess Nate took that as a shot in the ass and just completely left. So I don't know, I'm looking forward to this. I'm obviously I'm pretty cool with Campy. We did a montage together. I talked to him quite a bit. He uploads my videos. And caps for me. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this team does and how they perform online.
I mean, I think it's probably one of the smartest moves because based on what Clap has been tweeting with FFAs possibly dictating the seeds, he has 3 of the top 8 FFA players on his squad. Now, will that actually happen? It's all hearsay. But nonetheless, I mean, Nated has been known for free-for-all in the past, and these other 3 guys are actually pretty damn good. I've had the privilege of casting them all 2011 season long when they were in the Big Flex 4 free-for-all finals. And every one of them were individually skilled. Now, does the switch from Bloom to no Bloom hinder them? Maybe. But that's something that we can't necessarily say right now, so we have to wait. But nonetheless, they have already made their splash, and it was through the free-for-all once again. So we have seen it time and time again that talent is found in the free-for-all, and I think, Nated, you have made the right decision for once.
Yeah, and Scott, we talked about it earlier. He's scouted teams before, and he's scouted talent throughout the community, and he did it with Karma back in the day, and he's doing it again now. And I think he will be able to go out there and find talent that he likes, and that's exactly what he did, and he got the team that he has, and I expect him to do well. This isn't just a put-together team. This is the team that Nated wants, in my opinion. He left Legit and Goofy to go team with these kids. So I expect a lot from Nated this event. Anything below a top 16 placement is extremely disappointing, and I do believe that he'll do that.
Dre, you have a point you would like to make, my friend?
Yeah, and to touch on Toxic a little bit, he's always been the type of player that has been shown inconsistencies. One event he will get second place with Classic, and he was just playing extraordinarily well. And every event that they were getting 8th or floating around there in the 2008 season in his first year, I think competing, he was always on and off. And I think that's the type of player that we've seen out of him. So if he can be consistent. Or wait, who are we talking about?
This was Toxic. Yeah, you were right.
Oh, yeah.
Me, man.
No, you did it right. No, this is what happens. You get tunnel vision, and you're like, man, I'm kicking so much ass.
No, we weren't talking about... Who was Dre talking about?
I realized nobody in the chat heard me. I had myself on mute. Can I do it again?
Oh, my God.
Well, to clarify, Toxic's not on Nated's team.
Yeah, right.
Dre.
All right, I'm done. I'm glad nobody heard me. I'm going back in my hole, dude.
Oh, my God.
Nonetheless, we stood awkwardly there for a bit.
Yeah. I was like, wait a second. Everyone's saying Nexy was muted. I'm just like,
what is going on?
That's called the good old-fashioned fake-out. Well, nonetheless, on to our next team.
Yeah.
On to our next team. Legit, Destined, Toxic, and Lethal. This, to me... It's kind of like my dark horse of the tournament. It's
kind of like a lethal-ass team. Yeah. Do you like that one?
No, that sucked.
Yeah. No, but honestly, the team is stacked with 4 dangerous-ass players who have gone off. And Legit being that dude that's been around for a long time. And I think it's time for him to kind of step up as that captain role and lead a team to victory. And this, you're right, Scotty, very, very dangerous on paper.
Nikki?
Yeah, to touch on what I was saying, I don't know if anyone even heard me or what the confusion was, but this is where I wanted to talk about Dmaq, and I'll also touch about the other players soon. But he has been the type of player that has shown inconsistency, and if he can turn that around, he will be. His team will be top 3, top 4 every event, because when he is on, he is a phenomenal player. And as we've seen with Destin, is he always gets left behind out of these teams. I don't know the specifics of his old teams, but he's always the type of player that he's never really formed his own team. He's always joined other teams and combined from, he kind of just gets phased out by Hines and Snipe Down, or who was it last year? Cloud and Snipe Down last year. And, he always bounces back. He won the event after they got left. So, if they can come together, and then obviously Legit and Lethal. Lethal won an event last year, so you've got 3 players that won events in the past 3 events, and you got Legit, who had a strong second place finish last year, and if they come together, then and just bring that consistency, then they'll be a top 3 team.
Well, they're ranked 3rd,
right? But that's what I mean. Dmaq will get top 3, and then have. And then I have a random 5th place finish or 6th place. He kind of floats around, and then Destin always gets the shaft out of his teams for some reason, because he isn't the formal or APG that goes plus 90. He goes neg 10 or plus 10, but he's doing things right. He's won events. He's gotten top 3, so I don't understand the problem.
You know what I like about this team? I think if they sneak into the finals, there's no way another team beats them.
How do you basically sneak into the finals?
Well, teams like Classic almost snuck into the finals last year. You know what I'm saying? If they kind of get in that position and they're hot, I could see them winning it. Because you saw Lethal kind of help his team Infamous win that event 3 events ago in Raleigh, and you've seen Legit turn it on. I really, really like this team as a Sunday squad. And I see them doing well if they're playing well throughout the tournament, for sure.
Yeah, they're definitely a Sunday team. They pretty much just have to bear through, and, if Legit can get back into his old free-for-all ways, I mean, it's only going to be more of a confidence booster for him to go through Friday and just slay through a bunch of rounds and then find himself back in the top 8. But, really, touching on it with the Dmaq inconsistency, I called him out all year long about it. I got criticized for it because, I guess he's kind of like a crowd pleaser. But, it was the case. But for the last 2 events, or the last 3 events, he was actually consistent. He wasn't very streaky in his gameplay. And that is something that I did notice. And, I gave him a round of applause and I gave him a lot of praise for that. But Lethal... my big question with Lethal is that I saw it when they took 2nd place, and I also saw it when they got outside of the top 8 at the national championship, is when Lethal gets the sniper in his hands, he goes into a stat whore mode. And that is just plain and simple. That is something that he admits, that sometimes he just hits a little bit of tunnel vision and he gets that power weapon and he doesn't really help out his team.
Well, you know what?
I think he has to, if he works on that, or if he just doesn't grab the weapons, they're a threat.
Well, thank God he admitted it. Because usually at 17, there's not a kid that admits that. You know what I'm saying, Scotty? So obviously, he got some type of good head on him, and hey, he sees the big picture, and maybe he will see that, and he'll adjust his game. Because if you see something like that, you're probably a bright kid.
I think you covered it perfectly. I gave my spiel.
All right. The next one. Final Boss. Hey, is that the name you've decided on, Nick? And are you going Final Boss?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you going Final Boss?
I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what the team name is going to be, but I don't really think that's important. But
it should be Final Boss.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it should be Final Boss.
I think so as well. Well, nonetheless, in case you guys are just wondering what the hell is going on here, Final Boss, we have coined them that name, is now Neighbor, BESTMAN, Fear Itself, and Victory X. The 4 old guys, 4 veterans. They have now come together here, which thank God, because I saw Final Boss scrimming with Mantrain and SK.
Oh my!
I honestly thought
I almost lost it.
It was the worst joke I've ever seen. It's like we open up this stream and we tell a knock-knock joke.
I think it was
cut off the fucking stream.
I I think it was.
Hey, no, it was a scrim. It was a scrim.
Nah, there's no
100%
way.
positive. We were on a call with Rob Frayer from the LAN Network, and he was saying, no, they're scrimming behind me. And I said, okay. So take that. But nonetheless, thank God this team is formed.
Hold on.
Actually am a fan.
Let's cover everything. First of all, Hysteria just posted in the chat talk about how he got shady. Now, Nick, you in here.
Oh, man, you can't be doing this, man. This is messed up.
This is a tough situation for Nick. So, Nick, I'm going to ask you to not say anything. All right?
I'll just say that I was in and out. I was in and out of the bathroom for a full day, dying. And, I mean, the team went down, and maybe it wasn't handled correctly, but regardless, it is now. And, you know, teams aren't handled correctly when Mason's involved, so that's just the way it goes.
I'm on the edge of my seat, man. This is the most intense situation I have ever been a part of. I can't believe you would do that. That's our team. He is a part of our team.
Yeah,
and
man. Fuck you, Dmaq.
Yeah, thank you. Fuck you, Dmaq. I'm on your side. Team best.
Whoa. I asked him not to speak. I'm just stating the fucking facts. Relax.
You know what? I would do a lot of shady shit to be on the team that Bestman's on. Just saying.
I don't know.
That new final boss, I'll do a lot of shady stuff.
Hey, I'll tell you why it was shady right here. I'll be straight up about it. Legit. Victory and Fear Itself wanted to. They were running with I believe Crimsix or a third of I forget who, and they asked Mason and they asked Hysteria, and they both said no. They wanted to stick with me. And then we practiced one night, and it didn't go so well. And then Mason got a text asking if it wanted to be me and them, and then we decided from there. That's it.
You know, I don't see anything too shady about that.
Yeah,
because hey, if that's the better team, then you know what? I'm not hating on that at all. And honestly, I've never been impressed with Hysteria and Halo Reach that much. I don't think he puts the time in. I don't think he's that dedicated. I hate to bash dude when he can't really protect himself, but from what I've seen out of all the players in the LAN network, he played the least. So, you know, out of the 16 or 24 pros that you get to see, when you see one playing the least, obviously he doesn't play that much. So,
I probably played the least, but
yeah, you're right.
You weren't at that LAN, Nick, so I didn't see.
Okay.
All right. Well, bringing things back and a little bit on subject here. Basically, you're looking at 4 very prestigious people who have a very good track record. But the question that has to be answered, Dmaq, is will Bestman win an event?
With this team?
Yes, with this team.
No. This is a really good team.
If they go to the LAN network, you are going to rule them out entirely. You cannot make that assumption that you can rule them out entirely.
Tough.
I will agree with you that it is very hard to even place them in the top 6 with their current history. I do agree with you.
Well, that's where I think you're wrong. I think this is a top 6 team right away. You know, I'm disappointed if this team gets below top 6. 4 very, very good veterans. You know, 2 years ago, Fear Itself. 2 years ago, this team is a dream team. You know, and I still believe they kind of have that status. Halo Reach first year with Bloom and Sprint didn't work out. But no, this team could get it together. However, which neighbor are we going to get? The neighbor that we've seen most recently or the neighbor we've seen in the past? Probably the one that we've seen most recently, so that's a good sign. And which best man are we going to get? Somebody who's practiced? Somebody who's not that practiced? The same question. There's too many questions with every single member.
All 4 of them.
I think it's the whole team. It just comes down to how much we want to practice and how much time we want to put in. So it's up to us if we really want it or if we want to bullshit around again. But I don't think I don't want to waste my time anymore, and that's the reason why I made this team, because the practice was just kind of, I don't know. It was really we were stuck in a bad situation because we were relying on Maniac to team, and we had a chance to run with Legit, and we didn't act on it. And then Maniac ended up going to Reliable after Reliable got dropped from the Destin and whatever team. So Maniac went straight to that, and that was pretty much the end of it. So we were pretty much in a shitty situation for a 4th. So I guess that's that.
And you know, I like Fear and Victory as a duo. I think they work well together, and you know, they place better than they should, which is always a great sign. That means they're veteran players. You know, there's players that shouldn't place that good because they're not that good, but yet they still win those games because they're veterans. Fear itself and Victory are two of those players. So it's good to have them on your team. And B-Man, best of luck to you. You know I'll be rooting for you. I'm happy for you.
Even though you always taking jabs or throwing me under the bus or something on the show.
But that's only because I love you, though. That's the only reason.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. It's hard love here. You know, you have to earn your keep.
You know.
But well, nonetheless, I think that's going to do it for this little segment. When we come back, we're going to talk about the caster dilemma in the Halo Reach scene. So stay tuned.
Fucking all cast.
Hey, a lot of people are asking about the music. This is Nexy, by the way. All the music was given to me by my little brother. He goes by the name Max Pierson. You can follow him on Twitter and get his music on Twitter. It's at Max Pierson. Or he has some songs on his YouTube, but not all of them that I'm playing today. His YouTube is youtube.com/Max Pierson Music. But hit him up on Twitter. He'll give you a link to all his music. Yeah, he uses GarageBand, so it's sick. But I'm gonna let the boys come back in and enjoy the show.
Son of a bitch. Welcome back to the Halo Council. You were jamming out to the lovely music of Max Pierson. He's tall, he's skinny, and I don't know how else. Yeah, that's taken. But nonetheless, the current situation that has been overwhelming every and anyone's Twitter timeline is really who's going to be the casters for Halo, because nothing is set in stone. So with that said, before it gets started, I'm going to go ahead and fire some shots off right away. People criticize me on my knowledge of the game, but they don't realize that I am the play-by-play caster. Now, that means I have normally the play-by-play, general sports broadcasting is you have a play-by-play and you have a color. Play-by-play follows the action, color throws, and the insight. I do play-by-play, so insight is irrelevant. Nonetheless, I get my information, when I do put my insight in, from Ryan Towie from Instinct, and also Flamesword from Status Quo. Now, for someone like, I don't know, T-Squared to say that I don't have the knowledge, the day I take information, or any criticism from a guy placing outside the top 8 is the day I give up casting. Why would I listen to someone placing outside the top 8 when I'm getting fed information from the 2011 national champions? Now, regardless, I am not here for insight. I am play-by-play. I am just clarifying that. But now on to the dilemma here. We have a fuck ton of talent who has the potential to really take Halo to the next level. Some say my name's in the mix. You know, that's neither here nor there. But really, I personally think Dmaq should get the bid. That's my opinion. But what do you think, Nick?
Well, I want to see, I don't know, the financial or how it goes, but I want to see like a rotation where it's you and Dmaq, and I'm not sure if Puckett's not getting in the booth, correct?
I think he's just too damn busy. I'm sure he's always going to make appearances because Puckett just has too damn good of a voice. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not sure about that answer.
All right. Well, anyways, my dream rotation would be you and Dmaq, Bravo, Puckett, and then Unfrankable. And then obviously your slew of pro players that come in, and hopefully I'm included because I like talking over games now, and I would love to do some color commentating, because play-by-play is way too fucking hard, and which a lot of people don't understand. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's what I want to see. Obviously, when it comes to knowledge of Halo, out of everyone, the only person that would be over you would be Bravo, and that's just because he's been coaching behind teams for so long. So when it comes to the slew of casters that potentially could be at Columbus, and I'm even throwing Tots in there or whoever else randomly named has been thrown up on Twitter, it goes Bravo then you. You know what I mean? I don't understand how you could say that Unfrankable no more than you. Obviously they've been putting in a lot of time lately, but when it comes to last year, we saw them in there and they were a great voice, a breath of fresh air. From just you and Waves, who was Waves was good, but he was a little dull. He wasn't really enthused as much as he could have been. But it just all comes, or when it comes to the knowledge of the game, you can't save it. You don't know what you're talking about when you're doing play-by-play. You're talking about Halo and the moves being made. You're not talking about why this guy did it. That's why you have a color commentary to go to a pro player or Dmaq and be like, why did Assault do this top mid? Going pushing in to the landing or whatever shit, whatever shit like that. That's not your job. You're play-by-play. So that's my dream casting right there. That rotation would be sick.
D?
I obviously I love to cast, and that's I haven't cast in a year and a half. I would have loved to cast it last year, to keep it real. That wasn't my decision. So it's somewhere. If it happens for me, I love it. And either way, I'm real thankful for all of the support by everybody. If I don't cast, it's not because you guys didn't give me enough support. You guys gave me way more than enough support. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even expect that much love. So either way, I will be a part of the biggest Halo tournament of all time. Whether I cast or not, I'm going to play or I'm a coach. I'm going to figure out a situation where I am still a part of this. And like I said on Twitter, I think everyone else should have the same type of goal. For me, if I cast, that's fine. I want to put on a great show for y'all. If I don't, you know what? Whoever does cast, I'm sure they'll put on a great show for y'all, and I'll be watching with everybody else.
I agree. For me, if I were throwing myself into the mix, I would personally, obviously, like to see myself, but I would like to see any combination. Really, predominantly, my allegiance is to Dmaq. Wave is completely done with casting. May he rest in peace in the Halo world. He's in engineering in Virginia Tech. Like, it's his senior year. To miss out on that for one event is almost frivolous. I mean, you're never going to get those memories back, so I completely understand where Wave is coming from, and quite frankly, he admits that he lost passion for the game. So, I mean, he realized he didn't drag it out any longer than was needed. But, my allegiance, number one, is going to go to Dmaq. But I would like to see any kind of combination of Towie and Bravo, either one of those two interchanged. I would love to have either of those. And, Unbreakable, or Unfrankable, that's their duo name. That would be awesome to see as well because, I mean, those guys put in the effort. Quite frankly, though, I don't know what kind of budget we're going to be working with here. And one thing to note is that Halo is not the main game, and that is a fact. So last year, Halo was the main game, and that was really the time when we could have been like, okay, we can have multiple casters. Now we're on the back burner. We're StarCraft 2 in 2010 where they had a little side booth and they were saying, oh, that's Halo, don't worry about it, when Huck lifted the mothership. Now it's not any change. It's a complete change now. We're in the corner.
You know, Scotty, I love to cast with you. You know, obviously we've talked about it, and we're doing it at the Land Network.
Yeah.
But if there was one person that I had to choose in my space, it'd probably be Tots. I think that motherfucker is so funny, and I've always laughed at everything he's always said, as far as, you know, and I just think he's an awesome kid, and once you channel that, he could be incredible. So I like Bravo and Towie and Unfrankable. I like those guys, but if I had to see somebody with you, I'd like to see Tots. And you know what? That's the type of thing is tricky about casting. Somebody might be really good with somebody, and somebody might not be as good with somebody else. You know, there has to be some sort of chemistry there, and that's the whole thing. That's why Unfrankable works, and that's why I think me and you work, and that's why I think you and Tots would definitely work.
You know, I mean, regardless, I mean, I am a fan of everyone who's coming up in the Halo casting world. I don't dislike anyone's casting. I genuinely can say that when I would step out and listen to Wave and Bravo or Unbreakable or Puckett and Bravo or Puckett and Wave or any of that, I mean, Halo is Halo to me, and especially Halo Reach, which is an incredibly hard game to commentate with very minimal strategy and more position-oriented. I think everyone who stepped on there did an excellent job, and quite frankly, I think anyone is suitable. Now, with that being said, I'm checking in our chat here. Bestman, are you saying Clap wants in? Like Adam Apicella?
I think it could be a
Clap?
I think it could be a fake Clap. I'm not sure, but I don't know why there'd be a fake Clap just randomly in, but that's what Siren said, so...
I mean, if Clap wants in,
if he hits us up on Twitter and says it's him, then we'll be the last segment, last 10 minutes talking to him.
Yeah, Clap,
that's really you. Further. Yeah, if that's really Clap, I would love to have him on here. I love me some Adam Apicella. I go back with him since AGP 3, 2002. Actually, Ohio Valley Shootout was before that, one of Clap's first tournaments ever ran, when Triple X posed as Gringo.
That was before me.
Yeah. That was 02. Triple X posed as Triple X, my old coach, posed as a teammate of mine, saying that he would go, and I showed up and I only had 3 people, and I pick up a person.
It is Clap.
It is? Well, let's get him on here.
He said he tweeted at Nexy 30 minutes ago.
Fantastic. Well, let's do it.
All right.
We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have Adam Apicella on. So stay tuned.
Wow.
what's up, guys? It's Nexy. So, just want to give you a heads up that Scott, Nick, and Dmaq are trying to figure out Clap's Skype. Clap, I know you hit me up on Twitter. Unfortunately, I only have so many hands. If you wanna try to tweet me your Skype address, I'll go ahead and add you to the call. But I'm gonna let these boys try to figure it out. So, guys, we'll be back in a second. In the meantime, while we get Clap on Skype, you can check out HaloCouncil.com. We got forums up and running so you can talk about the show. On the right sidebar, you'll see that you can see all the live streams going on from the pro players. Down in the bottom center, you'll see all the pro players' latest YouTube videos. So if a pro player uploads a YouTube, it'll be automatically aggregated right there. The forums are popping off, and there's a lot of stuff to be added. So if you like the show, go ahead and talk about it there. I'm going to let you guys listen to some more Max Pierson.
Welcome back to episode 9 of the Halo Council. I'm Gandhi, joined with Dmaq and BESTMAN, and a very special guest, Adam Appisaw, MLG CLAP. CLAP, how are you, my man?
Good, how we doing, guys?
Fantastic. Just happy to be on the circuit at this point.
We're great, but we're kind of surprised. We're kind of surprised.
I'll say it. No, this is Nexy. I'll say it. As soon as Clap got on, we all got nervous as hell. Look at us.
Yep.
You're lucky you can't see our webcams. All right, I'm going to let you guys take it.
We don't know what to expect, Adam, overall. But what is the message you're trying to lay out on the show today?
Why can't they see our webcams? We exceed the maximum here?
I think
no, we just don't have a
show.
5-shot.
Yeah, we don't have a 5-shot, so we didn't really,
What do you guys want to ask? I mean, you want some,
we'd love the inside scoop.
No. Start with this. Sundance's thoughts on on Live on 3. You got to start with that. I know you watched it.
Right.
I watched the whole thing. You guys know I watch and I read everything. I've read 300 and some pages of Team Liquid the last few days about pay-per-view. It's weird. I was just talking to my wife about it. I said, I'm watching this episode with Sundance, and I'm like yelling at my monitor saying, "Don't say this, stop," and it's like, and then you later you step back and you're like, this asshole's got some kind of charm that like he speaks to people. I don't mean to sound like silly about it, but it's just like people understand him. He knows how to talk to people and like on their level, and he puts real world problems very eloquently. And what he said wasn't bullshit. He just put it different than how I would put it. And I think I probably would have come off like maybe, I probably wouldn't have been taken as, the community wouldn't have been receptive to what I was saying as Sundance is. And it's really, it's something that you're just born with. And I think that he knows how to get across what he's trying to say. And it's very touching when you see like the community really react to it. So, I don't know. I thought it was cool. In the heat of the moment, I was pretty upset. But I'm pretty thrilled with, how it all turned out.
Well,
I'm actually surprised, personally. I think I was actually really surprised that there was even a conflict about the pay-per-view. I thought it only made sense to me personally. Dmaq and I actually opened up our show with that.
Well,
yeah.
I'll say this. And I'll let you talk, Dmaq. I'm sorry. I just said this. I will literally fucking quit MLG. I've been here for 10 years. I will quit if this show sucks. We are working so hard every day to make this happen. And if it's not worth $20, then we shouldn't be doing what we're doing. It's 20 hours across 4 different streams. So do the math. There's 80 hours of content in a weekend for $20. And then some of the stuff we're rolling out, it's going to be better than the pro circuit. If you like the pro circuit and you thought it was worth it, it's going to be better than that. The player's going to be there. There's going to be no downtime. We have some other features to announce. There's no ads. I mean, if it's not worth $20, I don't know what is, because I just went to Red Lobster last night with my wife. Red Lobster, I know, right? And we spent like $85 between the two of us. So, I don't know.
Well,
yeah, the biscuits alone are worth that.
My only thing was, for gold members, I thought it was kind of a knock on gold members to not give them a discount. But from my understanding, gold members now get 25% off.
Let me say this. Gold members are getting $5 off, but when we launched Gold, Gold had ads. Gold did not have quad view. Gold had 1 StarCraft stream. Gold did not have beta casters. We launched Gold. A lot of people bought it, and then we added in the second. We added in StarCraft Blue. We added in beta streams, 2 more casted streams, so that you could see 4 total matches on the floor for StarCraft. We added in quad view. We added in so many features that we just didn't say, hey, pay us more for this. We just layered it in after they'd already paid. And also the online qualifiers for StarCraft. I don't want to talk about StarCraft the whole time on this, by the way, guys.
Fantastic news. I was getting ready to say, after this, we're going to Halo.
The online qualifiers for StarCraft were they were free. I mean, for everybody. I mean, it wasn't. We could have rolled that in and said, hey, we have 200 matches for the month, and that's part of the pay-per-view. But we didn't. We wanted to give away for free. Now let's talk about Halo. This is my baby. Let's talk about Halo.
All right. Well, honestly, for those who don't know out there, this is your first time on the Halo Council. What does Halo mean to you? How long have you been around the game?
Do we really have like 5 more minutes, or can we go over?
No.
We're going over.
I've already accepted the fact that we're going to be going over on this one.
Yeah, but we're good. We're
only
going.
For you, Clap.
So let's get this story out. I know we have 1,000 people watching live right now, but I want to get this story out. I want to get my personal story out. I graduated from college. I was taking a year off, and I was going to get a law school, and I decided I couldn't go to the bars. I was working for a congressman in Ohio. I was working 70, 90 hours a week, and I couldn't go to the bars anymore. I couldn't have fun. I mean, it was just work consumed me. I put 35,000 miles on my car in 4 months, and that's no bullshit. And running a campaign for this, this politician, and I started playing Halo 1 with all my friends. John Kern is my cousin. Like some other guys, like
who's the man?
He's the nicest guy in the world. People that I just like 10 of my buddies, and we were like, this game's fucking great. We played it nonstop. We were terrible. We were the worst ever in comparison to like someone like Scott. But I loved it so much that I, on my own money, and I didn't make money. I made like $1,000 a month doing this job. I rented out a ballroom at a hotel locally and borrowed TVs and Xboxes and had my friend that was a computer science major make me a website without prepayment, so it was all like a leap of faith. Made his website, advertised on the forums. I found like people like Scott and the Ogres and said, hey, help us. They put in their AIM profile and aimed and stuff, and we ran this big tournament at Wheeling, and we thought like we just wanted to find people to play with, and 20-some teams showed up, and I ended up giving out like $2,000 in prize money and paying for all the costs out of the operational money that came in, and that was great, and it was awesome. I loved it, but it was a lot of work, and but I loved Halo 1. I found a lot of cool people that I met, and then Mike Sepso and Sundance reached out to me later. They'd heard about it through Scott and Zena and other people, and Chris Puckett asked me to help with their first event, which was their second event, which was Halo Nationals, and I helped them run it. It was a huge success, and fucking the rest is history. But I love Halo. I mean, I do. I mean, this is like definitely a passion endeavor for me. Like, I don't play the current iterations of Halo. I don't personally like them as much, and I'm not very good. But
you're a Halo cat. originated.
100%. I care a lot about it.
Now, Adam, coming from a business standpoint, which I think, everyone is finally accepted at this point, really the 2011 season wasn't the best for Halo Reach. What did you see being a part of it for so long that was the big difference? Do you think it was just a lack of interest or just people just didn't want to play the game?
With Halo Reach itself, I think there's a few things. I think I don't appreciate a game launching with a built-in equalizer. I don't think Bloom was the smartest decision ever. I also think that taking the ranking system out of Halo was a huge mistake. Huge mistake. I mean, there was no impetus to play every day. Like, getting that 50 was like a gold standard for a lot of people. I know, like, a lot of you guys could just get it in a night. Some of these guys is like all they wanted to do. I don't know. I think that there's a lot. I think that playing a gray map over and over again, whatever the Forge maps, there just wasn't a lot out of the box to work with. And I hope we've been talking 2-3-4-3, and I hope for Halo 4 that we can work with them from the get-go, make sure that we're heard before it's too late. Because we don't want paid. We just want to help them make a great title, and we want them to have a competitive title out of the box that we can run a tournament the day after it launches, and then everyone will be happy with the maps and settings. And I don't think that was a plausible situation with Halo Reach.
I agree.
Okay. Now, what about this year with no Bloom, no Sprint? I know Halo almost didn't make it this time on the circuit, but now that it has, how excited is all of MLG, and what do you guys expect?
Is he breaking up for anybody but me?
Yeah, I can reiterate it. Basically, he was saying that now since Halo Reach is picked up for the 2012 season, what are your expectations and how excited is MLG just to have it at the Columbus event?
Well, let me say this. I think here's my personal spin on it. John Nelson agrees with me 100%. I think we got in this really, I don't want to say cocky stance or this weird stance of everything's got to be super pro. And I think we got away from Halo being super aspirational. Let's not get it twisted. It's really hard to find 3 other people around the country to play at an event, a LAN event that you need to meet on a whim of faith to fly in and play with them that just via Xbox Live. It's a hard thing. I think we just expected everyone to be this top level pro, to be a BESTMAN or be a Scott, to be an Ogre too, or whatever. I mean, be a Roy or Lunchbox, or T Squared. And we took away the aspirational quality of it. And I think giving back to FFA and giving back some of the side events to it and just more of a community shell around a pro competition. I think when we took that away, I think we really did the community a disservice. And giving that back, I hope, will rekindle kind of what Halo's all about. Halo's about a Pistola can be discovered from an FFA. A strong side can go to a fucking county fair in Cincinnati and beat Zios 1v1, whatever that stupid tournament it was that was and get discovered. I mean, that's literally how that happened. He beat Zios 1v1 at some county fair.
Luckiest person in the world.
Yeah.
Game Ride, baby. Was it Game Ride or something like that?
I think so. That sounds right.
And I mean, we took that away. We made it this super professional endeavor, which is it has its own merits, but I don't think that's what the Halo community is. And hopefully we can get back to its roots.
Now, speaking of which, about the FFA, now I've seen tweets from you saying you wanted to bring it back to how it was with FFA deciding the seeds. Now, will that be implemented for the pros as well, or is that just for the amateur players?
My personal opinion?
Yes.
My personal opinion, what I'm pushing John Nelson for 100%, is to have every single person enter their FFA, and when the dust clears, you have your seats for 4v4. That's my personal opinion.
All right.
I like that.
We're going back to now. With that said, with the seeds, now in 2005, when we did a similar approach to that, we went into a round robin. Will it just be whatever the seed is goes? Or will there actually be a round robin to distinguish in the top 4, 5 through 8, 9 through 12, etc.?
I think it'll be Friday night FFA and Friday night FFA only. FFA or only ones will not carry over to Saturday. I would say that it whittles all the way down to a final top 8, and the top 8, the top 4, the whatever crown, and they get prize money. I don't think there's any round robins or anything. I think it's just straight up brute force FFA. If you get lucky that weekend, well, guess what? Your seat's better.
I dig it. I'm a fan.
So
you also made a name for yourself.
So are we talking about just one free for all and like no like pro free for all? Because how it was done before was the 16 were already set, and then amateurs played in, and then you had your round robin. Is this just going to be like you work your way up one night and then your top it?
How it was done before, best name, but how it was done before how it was done before. That makes sense. You're saying how it was done before, but before that even, we just did straight up FFA.
Yeah, and it was seeded. The pool play was seeded, right? Like back at like Philly 05. Like
intermittent. There's so many inconsistent we've had so many structures. I mean, but I would say for 2004, 2003, and a majority of 2005, it was straight up FFA leads to 4v4, and how your cumulative results from FFA were that led to 4v4. Scott, am I wrong there?
No, you're 100% right.
And you know what? Maybe it's not the fairest way to do it, because before I get eviscerated in chat, I agree. 4v4 is not the same thing as FFA. Individual skills and the skills related to 4v4 are not. They don't translate 100%. I 100% agree with that. However, there's something very community-centric. It's just something that we've seen. This scene slowly died, guys. And I know it has a lot to do with the current iteration of the title, but I also think it has to do a lot with MLG. And with our structure and the maps we've chosen and the settings we've chosen, we recognize that. So we're going to throw it back to communities, put the ball in communities court. We're going to let you guys pretty much pick the settings. But I do think the structure is a little flawed. I think that segregating the pros into this this far-flung bracket is a mistake. I love it how it used to be, and I want to give it a shot. If it sucks, we'll change it. But right now, what we're doing doesn't work. That's not
right. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but when we're talking about Halo, StarCraft's the only thing guaranteed for the rest of the year, and so when it comes to Halo, what is going to be the standard? Is it going to be if we sell out, or if the stream numbers? Because I know everything is compared to StarCraft now. Is it going to be like
no,
we got to get 15? What is that?
Listen, I don't care. I want you guys to tune in. I will say this: stream numbers in 2011 compared to like 2007, 2008, 2009 aren't close. You guys were better years ago, which again, it portrays a result of the title. However, I have very high expectations for attendance in Columbus. Columbus last year, I don't know if anybody knows this, was the only event for Halo that sold out. It actually had a waiting list of like 50 teams.
Really?
If we can't sell out in Columbus, then we might as well all collectively throw in a towel and wait on Halo 4.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I agree. My question for you, Clap, is now, assuming that we do run with, if your method prevails as the most successful, is that getting rid of pro teams? Is that going to get rid of seeds as who is pro?
I don't know.
Do you get so basically it's like they're playing for the seeds 1 through 16. Now then that would be changing every single tournament, so there would be no benefit of having a pro seed unless it gives you host.
Let me say this: I am not the final say on this. This is my opinion. I talked to John Nelson about it, and John is usually a lot more intelligent in terms of this stuff than I am. John Nelson, for all the shit you guys give him, is literally the Rain Man of fucking all tournaments. He is the best tournament coordinator, admin, commissioner. I mean, he's the commissioner, but in terms of structure and getting it on a mathematical level, he's better than anybody in the business. And I'll stand behind that 100% all day.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
he's a robot.
I can't disagree. He's the hardest working tournament director I've ever seen. I've never seen somebody that works harder than him. You can't even say hi to him. You're afraid because
you can't
stop him.
He's literally a genius.
Yeah.
I have one more question, and then we could go to any of the community or whatever you guys have to ask. But what I've been trying to push here is for that the Halo community needs to become independent, because we are on the back burner with Halo Reach, and until Halo 4 comes out, we're not going to see the same consistencies that we had in the past. But I just want to hear what your words of wisdom would be to us. Say if we're not on every event, like what does the community need to do in order to keep its momentum going until Halo 4 comes out?
Good question.
Because I've been trying to, we set up.
We all have.
We've been doing our shows. I've been trying to get. I've always stressed that more pros need to stream and put out good content. That's just something that the pros haven't done. They've always been lazy in the past. We haven't really.
I'll say this. I think the mistake that you guys have made, and I said this to Dmaq, and I said this to Nexy. I don't think I said it to Scott. I would just leave other games out of your mouths. I mean, yeah, I know you guys get compared a lot, and you can't help that. But when it's you guys talking about your game, don't talk about the other game. Don't compare yourselves. Don't compare yourselves if you don't have to be. I see there's a spurt there after Providence where a lot of the content coming out was kind of aggressive and combative. And
one piece.
Yeah, I don't agree with it.
Maybe 2 or 3 pieces.
Well, I mean, it was kind of like a little bit of a troll. But, I mean, at the end of that video, we did give credit where credit's due in our offense. But, yes, off the beginning, we were in the wrong, and we have admitted that. But we've never made the make sense. You
guys look like 100% dick shits in those videos, no offense.
I think we realize that. We accept that.
Hey, I'm going to jump in, guys. It's Nexy. So I can't agree with Clap. No, I can't agree with Clap more. I think we've owned it. I think at this point, when we look back on it, we realize that we were being crybabies and kicking and screaming. And I think that's why we've put so much effort to get to the show to where it is today. So, and without people like Clap and without Reddit, we may have never realized how much of dipshits we were being. But, yeah, I mean, I'm owning it, and I'd love to move on from it.
No, I definitely. You guys asked for advice. I think moving forward, I would avoid that type of content. So, I mean, with MLG in your life or not, I mean, after Columbus, I mean, first off, I would hope that you guys are praying for a world, not praying for a world, but working, striving for a world where the fucking Halo community comes out in force in Columbus and says an MLG would be stupid to drop you guys. I mean, if you guys come out and you sell out a bracket, who in God's name would drop you guys? I mean, the reason why it's even a question is because the brackets were at a fraction at the end of the year. I mean, it just seemed like, hey, you guys don't want to play, why would we operate it? So you guys don't want to watch it, why would we broadcast it? If you guys are watching the stream and participating at the live event, it's a perfect marriage. But if that's not happening, then, I mean, it doesn't make sense for anybody. Right?
I mean, that's absolutely fair. And, I've said it, and I think everybody in the Halo community should take notice. Hey, if I'm not casting in Columbus, I'll be playing. And I think everybody should try to be a part of that tournament because it is a very important tournament for the Halo community.
I agree.
Guys, we get it. By the way, to the chat, we get it. No bloom, no sprint, all this other stuff, people mad at us. We understand. We're trying to rectify the settings. I mean, let's come out in Columbus and prove that the settings are the problem then. I mean, we're trying to fix everything that you guys want. Adding in a free-for-all, adding in possibly 2v2 side event, changing the settings. Anything you guys want, we're going to do it. We're listening to the community 100%. But if you guys don't follow up, I mean, then what do we do then? So,
what can you do? Is there any word on the casters? Where do you fall with your personal picks on the casting side of things? It's okay to roast me. I'm fine. I can accept it.
I would like to see a Bravo in the booth. I would like to see Scott back in the booth, potentially. Right? I think you've been talking to Puckett.
Perhaps.
And I know Chris isn't coming back. I mean, both Chris's are coming back in the casting role. I don't know. I mean, I think we have room for a third caster. I would love to see Bravo. I think he gets it.
I'll say this. I'm trying to cast, Adam. I'm in this circle that we're talking. Yes, and I would love to cast. And I would
I think I'd be a better commentator than you, just being real. I think Nexy would be amazing.
Yeah, he probably would.
You hear that, Nexy?
Yeah, I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, but I'm a Dmaq supporter, just so you know.
I'm on Not Dmaq. I'm just saying, I think Nexy would be amazing at it.
I appreciate that. Oh, we got your webcam. We got your webcam, Adam.
We see you.
Yeah, can you just create a graphic of just Adam's face?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Or just like one of his bicep, him flexing. Good, Adam. Growing the hair out.
I have a question about the casters. Do we have to pick 2? Is MLG going to pick 2? Can we do more than... What if people volunteered, let's say?
What 3 casters?
I'm sorry?
We have 3 casters.
Okay. That's actually big news. That's huge news.
Wow.
But not all in the booth at the same time, because I don't think you expect somebody to cast for 12 hours a day. So we'll definitely have a rotation. But I think, I know Scott and Chris have been talking. I personally think Bravo should come in the booth, and I think there's a room for a 3rd spot.
Well,
but
so
that decision will be in Chris Puckett's wheelhouse there, guys, not mine.
Well, that's pretty big news because we have like 5 potential casters because Unbreakable and Euphorics are sort of like a duo, so that's kind of it'll be a little bit interesting to see what happens there. And
Is there any words for advice on what not to do in the booth before Columbus even happens? You can just get rid of this now. You always like to give me words of advice. I'm just curious as to what to avoid. Just keep other games out of my mouth kind of thing.
I'm not a big fan of screaming in a high-pitched teenage voice in the room, and personally, but
what about Tots? I would love to see Tots cast. I think he would be an excellent caster. He's super funny, young kid. He could channel his energy. He'd be incredible.
I think Nexy blows Tots out of the water. You know who would be a really good? You know who would be a really good commentator? is T Squared, but definitely he's got some.
Well, he's playing. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Once he retires, I said.
Yeah. He'd be good. I agree with that.
I think Tom would be really good, and I'm not just trying to be a T2 MLG fanboy here. I think Tom would be great. I think, like I said, Bravos would be great. Get Scott back in the booth. I think pairing Scott with Gandhi would be good because you have kind of somebody that's really excitable and somebody that's calmer, I guess.
Who is this?
Dre can get excited, but Dre's also got more of a smooth, bassy, baritone voice, I guess.
Instead of a nasally, raspy, annoying voice, thanks.
Compliments to each other.
Well,
I just got a text from Julie Alexandria. She just wants to say hi to everybody. And, she says, what's with hysteria? He's always been good. I feel bad for his situation. And she says, please tell the community that I say hi. So, guys, Julie Alexandria says hi. Just letting you guys know that.
Hey, Siren, you want to know about what the Slasher comment on T-Squared and Dr. Pepper?
Slasher is bitter, man.
Very bitter.
Very bitter.
You guys want to know how minuscule T-Squared was on the Dr. Pepper bottle?
How minuscule? What
do you
mean?
That's in quotes, minuscule. It was pretty funny when he said that because Tom Taylor being on the bottle of Dr. Pepper changed their sales in a quarter by like 4%, which is more than any professional athlete's ever done on a bottle of soda.
Damn, so, that's not that minuscule.
That's millions of dollars. So for someone to say that Tom Taylor is the wrong person to put on a bottle, or that a console gamer can't move product, it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I mean, Slasher has said some dumb shit. Clap.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and he, not to say he's not a bright kid though. He is definitely a bright guy, but he's said some dumb shit. Obviously, you're going to when you speak that much on camera.
Yeah, but it was just one of the most uninformed things. I'm just responding to the chat right now. So console gamers do have power. I'd say actually more general, general reach than a PC gamer does. You guys just
Why do you think that is?
Well, because it's more of a lifestyle thing. It's not like you have to have like a certain level of knowledge to be able to play PC. You have to have a certain level of tech know-how to play StarCraft. I mean, not necessarily. You can just buy the game and install it on your computer, but I mean, there's a whole other level of it. With console, it's just like your mom buys you an Xbox for Christmas. You plug it in, you can play with 10 million other people online.
And that's
your television.
It's funny that you say that because I feel like you have to have more of a style to play Halo. No, I'm gonna stop. I'm
come on, don't get me here.
I'm just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke.
Clap rolls back. He's like flexing just to remind you. He's like, I will beat the shit out of you.
Don't make me flex. Small.
Well, Clap, given the current state of how everything's progressed, are you happy with everything looking forward to the 2012 season as a whole, regardless of the whole PayPal scenario?
I'll just say this. I went into my CFO's office, and I literally guaranteed that Halo would sell out in Columbus. I'm not going to lie. I said that 100%. You think I'm making it up to like get fans? I 100% walked into my CFO's office, my boss, and said, I guarantee you that Halo will sell out. Which, you know, by the way, selling out just covers the prize money. Yeah. Just so you know, if you do the math behind it. And we're going to announce free-for-all prizes. So, just the prize money is covered just by the gate from competition. That's not covering any of the broadcast, any of the staging, any of the TVs, any of the setup, any of the load-in, any of that shit. Any of the talent, any of the directors, any of the blah, 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 the referees, the whatever. So, I literally went out and said, I have faith in these guys. We're going to challenge them. We're going to listen to them. We're going to change this game to how they want it, and they're going to support us. Because we've supported them for nearly 10 years. So,
Clap, if this is such a big event for Halo, has MLG considered maybe having a Halo 1 tournament? Is that a possibility?
What happened to throwback events? I remember those.
I'm trying to play some
question I've ever heard. Dumbest question. You don't even have to answer that, Clap.
Don't even pay attention to it.
There's an Xbox.
If you play Halo 1 now on the Xbox, Dmaq, it wipes the cache.
Still play. Every week.
Man, no way.
Still play every week.
And you're still terrible. Just absolutely awful.
It's true. It's true.
But Clap, looking at the league, do we... Now, I mean, 2011 overall was a very, very successful season. Are we going to be seeing new sponsors, sponsors coming back from same faces kind of thing? Or have we lost any kind of thing?
I think you'll see a lot of the same sponsors. The thing is that hopefully we see some uptick every quarter because as we separate the season out a little bit as opposed to being a year-long activity. So we haven't lost anybody, but I think you'll see the same guys that have been supporting you for years now and supporting MLG. Definitely not. MLG is definitely not shrinking this year. I'll say that.
Sweet.
Clap. Speaking about sponsors, in the past, sponsors have sponsored teams and even individual players. Is MLG going to continue to do that? And are they going to gear more towards StarCraft, or are they still going to put a heavy focus on Halo?
I don't know that necessarily that sponsors are going to be directly sponsoring players really much at all this year. I think that more so that they're going to do a lot of stuff like show matches, funding that type of activity between events, and making sure their booths or their activities at the actual event, like their booths or whatnot, are more geared to what the fans and the players actually need and want. So,
okay, all right. So the individual sponsors, players basically should be going out and trying to get their own individual sponsors, and MLG will take care of the league as a whole, is what you're basically saying.
Sorry, Dmaq. What was that again?
I'm sorry. I'm saying basically, as far as individual sponsors, players should be going out and getting that by themselves, and MLG will cover the league as a whole with their sponsors that they have.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, Clap, being a player in the league and also seeing the emergence of all these other companies come out, don't you kind of think, from a player's standpoint, or just really as a spectator, that it'd be more suitable if we kind of went with the NASCAR approach where players can have multiple sponsors and just on their jersey just be plastered with logos rather than just being restrained to the ones of the league?
They're not anymore.
They aren't?
And yeah, that's what he was getting at, Scott.
Players don't know that.
Our contracts are no more under MLG, so we can do that. We just need to market ourselves correctly.
I think that is the smartest thing to do.
And that wasn't a negative, by the way. That wasn't something we said, hey, we're cutting the strings on you guys and we don't want any part of you anymore. It was more that, hey, there's 64 of you. We literally don't have enough resources to cover all of you. We might get 8 of you. We might do a good job with 8 of you. But the other, 56 of you, you're kind of fucked. And we don't want to be like that. You guys don't want to be like that. So we literally, this past year, we transitioned out of that. And the Halo players will now be free to pursue their own sponsorships. Not that they really weren't before. We would have worked with them, to make sure that they got what they needed, but there was definitely some restrictions involved, and that's been peeled back a lot.
Now, a question, since, as we have known, the Halo players have been kind of spoon-fed, myself included, with everything in the sponsor. Is there possible that you could construct, like, a pro-player meeting with one of them for one of the events, or, like, a forum post with how they should actually go about marketing themselves?
I've said this a billion times on any media out there, from Twitter to the forums to whatever. My email is very, very public. It's very easy. It's aa@mlgpro.com. I'm one of the top 5 ranking people at MLG. I will help you. I answer every email. If you have a question about some potential deal, you want help with, sponsorship, email me. I'll help you out every day. So
there you go, guys.
I don't have some to-do guide on how to do it, or a how-to guide on how to get sponsorship or how to get monetization around your team. But if you have something specific in mind and you want to query me on it, send me an email. And by the way, Siren, you got the email wrong. It's aa@mlgpro.com.
Man, Siren's just failing you all day today, isn't he?
Calling
you a fake. Like, fire him. Revoke his mod set.
I will credit you for is you've received a lot of fire in the past, but you've always attacked that fire head on and try to resolve every type of situation. And I think that's why you've really helped the Halo community and been able to get into the other communities, because you know what? A lot of fire gets thrown at you, but you're willing to accept it and you're willing to push through. And honestly, we kind of commemorate you for that.
I appreciate that. There's you never get anywhere by running away from an argument. I mean, if it's going to be an argument, you might as well sit there and at least try to find some middle ground. And there's never any good coming out of ignoring people or just running away from something. So I always try to at least meet it and take the brunt of it. And if it turns out poorly for me, it turns out poorly for me. But at least I met it face on. So I mean, I think that's how Sundance feels about it, and I know that I do definitely. So.
All right, well, guys, you guys wanted to hear from somebody at MLG. Well, you heard from the man himself, Clap. He came and joined us. He told us everything you want to know. There will be 3 Halo casters. Gandhi is confirmed. Clap would love to have Bravo. A third is still to be decided. It's been a great show. We talked a lot. Clap, thank you for joining us, man. We didn't expect you on today's show.
No problem. Is there any community questions you guys want to ask me?
Yeah, I've got a bunch locked and loaded. So, but before I start reading them off, I'd like to say that I really appreciate Clap coming on and not only just spreading knowledge, but defending us where Sundance kind of deflected. And I understand. I mean, he was talking for 2 hours. He got caught off guard with the whole T2 selling Dr. Pepper bottles. But I really appreciate that Adam's willing to come on here and speak passionately about the measure that T2 was able to push in terms of Dr. Pepper. So,
Dre, let me say something though in defense of Sundance, so I'll defend every day for the rest of my life. Sundance was also in a screaming match at that point. I also think he was caught a little off guard in that conversation. So, Halo fans, please know that from conversations in the office and seeing him work every day, he cares a lot about this community. And that's not bullshit. That's not just trying to defend my boss. He cares a lot. Never doubt that. I don't judge Sundance off what conversation on Live on 3 tonight. He was definitely in the heat of the moment and pretty emotional. He's stressed out. He's very stressed out. So don't judge him on that. That's all I got to say.
He shouldn't even gone on that show.
It was a trap for sure, but he couldn't be luckier to have Adam Apicella, on his side and doing this properly. But anyway, I've got a bunch of community questions, so take as long or as short as you need, Adam. And I've screened most of these, and you may have answered them already, but unfortunately I didn't hear the whole conversation, so I'm just going to start going. Number one, Zach Hood wants to know, should we have a free-for-all playlist on Halo Reach Online if free-for-all is going to base the seeding?
We're trying right now.
Cool. Christian Martinez wants to know, what could we do to counter the immaturity of some of the newer Halo players? And we want to influx younger players, yada yada. How can they be a good influence, some of the OGs of the Halo community?
By being accepting and not jumping on people as soon as they see one post on the forum or whatever. I know MLG is kind of the hub for Halo discussion right now. If you see somebody that has a join date of 2012, you should be fucking amped that they're joining and talking about Halo in 2012. You shouldn't be ridiculing them because they don't have a 2006, 2007, 2008 join date. You should be very, very happy that your game's still growing, and you should be bending over backwards to help them.
On that one.
Powerful.
That was good. This one's a bit obvious, but I think you'll put a good spin on it. Chris Boyd would like to know, in a strange way, could you argue that Halo Reach was the best thing that could have happened to Halo?
Yeah, I think so. In one way, I think it was bad for MLG, bad for business. In that, obviously when we have a guaranteed prize purse that we always pay out, and people don't show up because they hate the game, it hurts MLG. Obviously, MLG has some blame in that in terms of settings and everything, but I also think it was a wake-up call for the Halo community in that this game isn't always going to come out of the box and not require a lot of community work and a lot of MLG work. So I think it was a wake-up call, not only for MLG, but for the community that, hey, we're not always going to have the greatest product ever that we all love and appreciate from day one straight out of the box. And we actually need to hustle and work a little bit to have a strong tournament offering and a strong community.
Chris Manzenberger, a.k.a. Geekster, would like to know, how do you feel about old Halo 2 pros coming back, such as Light King? There's a few players signing up for the tournament who've played in the past.
Is Light King's dad going to come to the tournaments with him?
Oh, Jesus.
What's next, Legend JRG?
I love it. I mean, I love people coming back as much as I love new players. So, more so probably the old players coming back because I know all of them. I mean, I used to have players sleeping in my hotel room in 2004, 2005. I used to share a room with 3, 4 MLG staffers and have 7 players sleeping on my floor. And that's no bullshit. So, I mean, seeing those kids come back, and they're probably young men now, come back and play, I mean, that's awesome. So, I'd love to see them.
Funk would like to know, what is your favorite era of Halo?
Come on.
Success standpoint. Let's do it from a success standpoint. What was the most successful era of Halo?
Halo 3 was the most successful. Halo 1 was my favorite in terms of gameplay. And I think Halo 2 was probably next in gameplay. I mean, I still remember before the plasma pistol, back in Halo 2, I don't even remember. Halo 2, I remember, what was your team, Scott? What was it called?
Which year?
Halo 2.
Carbon?
No, in Halo...
IGS? IGS.
I just remember the Ivory Tower assault, wherever that map was.
Yeah, Ivory Tower.
It was a plasma pistol jumping over the balcony into, to take over that space. And I just remember you and Shockwave just destroying the ogres on that map. And there's just there's something exciting about Halo 1 and Halo 2. That was my favorite competitive era. But in terms of business success, Halo 3 was definitely the best.
Was that St. Louis?
Yeah, St. Louis, where we lost it when we were up.
Yeah, you guys blew it, man.
10.
That was one of the first tournaments I watched online, I think.
God, so depressing.
Yeah.
What's next, Nexy? What we got, baby?
With another question, and I like this one a lot. Mac Daddy would like to know, what are ways I can support the MLG community if I can't go to events?
Watch the stream. Get your family to watch it. You know what? This isn't bullshit. When I go to an event and I'm gone for a week, and I'm doing 15, 20-hour days, my wife has a stream open, my computer has a stream open, my mom has a stream open. Seriously, that helps. the ads that are running on those streams help. Get everybody you know to watch it. Seriously, it's not a fucking joke.
I don't know who it is, but they've been creating forum topics and tweeting the hell out of me about inviting people over to his house in New Jersey to watch the upcoming MLG event.
Barlow.
Yeah, they're calling it Barlow. I doubt, I don't know, if you can pull it off in a bar, more power to you, but I'd say start small, invite some buddies over to your house, and make it a social environment and tweet about it. I mean, just like Clap said, get the word out there, but make it a social thing.
Too. The old office, like I said this earlier, don't associate yourself, like don't like mention other games. When you're like, don't just do it on purpose. But if you're going to do like a bar atmosphere and you know StarCraft's got this gigantic BarCraft brand already, leech off of them. Get a TV at that bar to have Halo. And then invite the Halo kids and just be part of that conglomerate. Be part of that hype. And the Halo fans will see you there and they'll see all those StarCraft fans and they'll assume they're there for Halo too. And it'll build off of that. You guys should all be working together as like a community, like around the MLG events. You have 20 screens at like a BW3s or whatever bar you guys have, and 7 of them for StarCraft, but you get 1 for Halo or 2 for Halo and 1 for fighting games. That's pretty fucking huge for MLG and for the community. So I mean, I would reach out to the bar. I'd reach out to One Nation of Gamers. I think Derek Ortiz is the guy, and say, hey, how do we get Halo involved in some of these bars? I will personally reach out to the Halo community and spearhead this on a community level to make sure they know about it. And they show up, and that TV that you trust us with for Halo, that will be watched. And we'll be buying drinks, and we'll be buying food at your bars. Guarantee it'll work. Now I'll introduce you to that. If someone wants to email me tonight, aa@mlgpro.com, and I'll introduce you to One Nation of Gamers, who oversees all the bar crafts.
Wow.
Wow.
So I've got one last community question, then I've got 2 of my own. So I'm only asking this one because this guy might be delusional. He's so far away from where we're at. I have to ask and let Adam kind of respond to this one. Nilla Wafers wants to know, is there any chance that we'll have floor commentary? You know, AKA he means, can we get a soundproof booth on Halo?
No.
Far away from that. We're not even close, dude. Okay, so that was the last community question, and a lot of the questions I'm getting...
No. Soundproof booth for team booths is about $75,000 a pop per booth.
Questions I'm getting a lot, even though you're already...
dropping numbers.
Yeah.
What if we just dug a hole for him and put him underneath the convention center? It'd probably be cheaper.
Let's dig a hole.
The question I got the most, Adam, and I know you've said it already, so maybe you don't mind repeating it, is how will Columbus be measured in terms of success?
I want at least 190 teams. I don't think it's too much to ask. We did 272 teams in beginning of 2010 or 2009. We sold out. I think we only did 218 amateur brackets in 2011. We had 50 teams on a waiting list in Columbus. If Columbus, the mecca of Halo, literally cannot sell out, we got a problem.
Is this the most important Halo tournament of all time?
Yes.
Well, you guys have heard it.
I got one last question on it. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but with the recent departure of MLG managing the pro players, are we still getting travel stipends?
I don't know that for sure, but we are talking about it in the office. It's a lot of money. I mean,
yeah.
We're talking 30 grand. We're taking over 64 people.
Right.
Travel stipends. So I mean, I don't think it's a for sure thing.
With that said, that actually raises a question that I have for you based on that. Do you think it's a better idea to cut the pro teams down from 16 to 8 or even possibly 4? Do you think that would have a negative image in the Halo community if you made it more prestige to make it into the top 8? Because if you're a pro, you're essentially getting money. So that would be the top 8.
Let me ask you a question, Scott.
Yes.
Flip it back to you. So what do you think it buys us to save for rolling rank points, which are no longer in existence, to have teams have a good placement one time and then pretty much preserve their seating for the rest of the year? Do you think it behooves the entire community more to have more of an open-ended thing where it's like, if you're the best, Dmac's the best. Dmac's the best. Just say tennis. Just pick it.
Yes. Why tennis?
1, 2, 4, 5 of us all play tennis. Dmac should win every time or be in the finals every time, right?
Uh-huh.
If Dmac isn't really the best tennis player or one of the best tennis players, then he's going to get exposed early. Why protect people and have them be in some pro bracket? I don't understand it.
Oh, I wasn't meaning the bracket.
I'm just flipping it.
Okay, yes. Okay.
I don't understand. Like, for status, sure, like they should get some type of benefit for doing well at the previous event. What that is, still TBD. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it really creates this. It draws this really distinct line between all the haves and all the have-nots. And I don't even know if the pros should have that. I mean, like, why would the pros want that? They should want to be out there interacting with the community instead of just playing a few times on Friday night, a few times on Saturday, and then on Championship Sunday. Just seems silly to me, personally.
I agree.
But big right now.
My question was really more or less, so assuming there is a way to incorporate the pros, so let's just say, you know, they just get on different sides of the amateur bracket or the open bracket, okay? Do you think they should have the title for getting top 16, or would you rather see it top 8 or top 4? A more prestige setting to be a professional Halo player.
I think there was definitely too many pro teams. It makes it really difficult when you have team games, because if StarCraft, for example, and I hate to bring it up, you have 16 players as pro, but that's 16 people. That's 4 teams in Halo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
it should be the top 8, Adam, in my opinion. And I think Sky, if you get paid, honestly, that's fine. And the top 8 makes sense to me, personally.
How much do you love Halo, Adam?
How much do I love Halo? Enough to put my job on the line for it.
God.
Yeah,
I love you, Adam.
Yo, I'll be playing. Like I said, if I'm not casting, I'm playing in the tournament, so that's one team right there.
Fantastic. All right, well, we're about 45 minutes over our normal runtime. Adam, I want to thank you once again. I was terrified when you first messaged because I thought we were going to get yelled at. But other than that, I think you really cleared up a lot of things for us and the entire community as a whole. And I think I speak for the rest of the Halo Council when I say I really appreciate you coming on.
Just coming on.
Let's do it before Columbus again.
Clap, where can people reach you if they want to thank you for all you've done for the Halo community?
Twitter.
AA@MLGpro.com.
And you're getting pretty active on Twitter, aren't you?
I am. Mr. MLG CLAP. Or wait. No,
Mr. MLG Adam.
That's right, Mr. MLG Adam. Hey guys, seriously, Sundance has taken a beating lately. If you guys want to send me something with like really nice things in it, send it to Sundance. He deserves it. He is literally taking a beating. If you guys have something nice to say to me, save it, address it to Sundance. He deserves it. He's my boss. If I'm doing something, it's because he told me to do it. Honestly.
All right, well, I think that's going to do it for episode 9 of the Halo Council. Once again, you can follow Clap at Mr. Or MLG Mr. Adam.
Oh, man, you're butchering it. Mr. MLG Adam. Okay.
Mr. MLG Adam. Also, send your tweets to Sundance, our beloved co-founder and our CEO. He deserves it. Other than that, for Dmaq, BESTMAN, Nexy, and myself, that's going to do it for episode 9. Thank you very much for tuning in. And this will be up on YouTube on tomorrow. So check it out there. Take it easy.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
I didn't give you a...